Hello and welcome to a new video. This is Rick Adrift. I have a vlog channel here on YouTube, but this is my new channel, Rick Adrift Talks, where we're going to look at cities that are a little bit underrated, and I'm going to show you why you should visit and just showcase the best part of those places. And today we have a special one. First video on the channel is going to be Malaysia, more precise, the city of Ipoh. And it's very much overshadowed by other cities in Malaysia. There's Kuala Lumpur, there's Georgetown, Penang, and tourists who come to Malaysia, they only really go to these two cities, but they don't really travel to Ipoh. First things first, we should get into the map, and Ipoh is here in the state of Perak. As I already said, it's kind of sandwiched between Georgetown and Kuala Lumpur, Kuala Lumpur being right here, Georgetown being there. And first things first, for any city that should receive many tourists, it's of course important to have good infrastructure. Ipoh has that. Ipoh has an airport, an international airport technically. That's it over here. It is called the Sultan Azlan Shah Airport, and it doesn't only offer connections to other cities in Malaysia, but also to Singapore. So, you know, it is technically an international airport. It is very conveniently located in the city. This is very close to the city center. And if we go on Skyscanner, you can see prices aren't that bad. There are flights to Johor Bahru. That's the only place in Malaysia where you can go to from there on that particular day. It costs $43. You got, I hazard to guess, Air Asia. Yeah, there it is. So Air Asia is flying there. And then you got Singapore as well for just over $60. So not bad at all. You can easily travel to Ipoh from Singapore, from other places in Malaysia. But then there's also buses. And the bus stop is also very close to the city center. I think it's like around here to the west. There's also a train station over here. And the buses from KL, look at that. Look at the prices. €4, €6. That's what, 20 ringgit? 20 ringgit up to maybe 45 ringgit on a luxury bus. So there's a lot of connections. It takes just 3 hours to go here from KL. Similar with Georgetown, is right in the middle. So why not break up a little trip from Kuala Lumpur to Georgetown and stay in Ipoh? I think it's perfect, right? You got trains as well, and these are the trains for a random day this month. You got gold, silver trains, and express trains. The silver train is it's just as quick as the gold train, but it must be a little bit, you know, less prestigious, a little bit less luxurious, less comfortable. But it's also cheaper. It's 30 ringgit. That's $6, which is crazy to me. Maybe $7, sure. And then you got the express train, which is half an hour less. It leaves at 12 and it comes in at 2 p.m. and it is 45 ringgit, which does not break the bank. It's really, really good. So there's a lot of connections to get to Ipoh, which is great. Now, once you're there, what is there to see in Ipoh? And, you know, you got, of course, the city center, like in every other city. Like in Georgetown or in Seremban, which I've visited before, there are murals there. So the street art. I'm not sure if it's by the same artist, Ernest Sakarevich, as in Georgetown. This looks very similar to the ones in Georgetown, I would say. But it's so cool. Look at that. I mean, this is awesome. I don't know what this girl's doing here, but look at that. This is awesome. These umbrellas. You got some very, you know, heritage-looking restaurants, hotels, boutique stuff. A lot of street art. It's so cool. I love exploring street art when I'm in Malaysian cities. It's awesome. There's some in KL as well. So there's that. There's a river walk over here as well, which doesn't have the best reviews, but it looks lovely. It looks nice. So there's that. There's also a cave temple and a monastery over here. Also, of course, an Indian temple, because every Malaysian city has one. It is, you know, it's just how it is. There's the Perak Cave Temple that I just mentioned, which seems to be one of the biggest attractions in Ipoh. Looks lovely as well. A little bit of a Batu Caves vibe. Not really. Batu Caves is, of course, Tamil. This is not. But still, really cool. And then you have some malls like the Ipoh Parade. And I think there's an even bigger mall close by. Somewhere around here, anyway. Yeah, there was another mall. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. And then we haven't even gotten to the cool part, which is Tambun, which is a part of Ipoh near the mountains, near the hills. And there's a place called Lost World of Tambun, which is a theme park. It is rather expensive for Malaysia, for Malaysian standards. It is, there you go, 28 euro. So what's that, like 150 ringgit, I guess. It's a little bit expensive, but look how cool that is. It is kind of nestled into the mountains of Perak, and it's just so awesome. There's a little lake in there. You got a zoo. There's also a petting zoo. I know that much. African animals in Malaysia is a very weird combination that you don't usually get. Zebras, you got giraffes. Look at that. That's kind of awesome. The lagoon and these limestone formations in the background. So it's just really, really pretty. And there's a lot of really cool hotels and apartments next to Tambun, which are also kind of nestled into the mountains. Let's just look at this random one, Tui Blue. It is, again, a little bit expensive for Malaysian standards, but look at the quality. This is insane. Look at that. There's a bathtub in there. More like a jacuzzi. So yeah, we're going to look at accommodations later, but this is amazing. So this city, even if you go on satellite, you'll see how much nature there is around Ipoh. It's really, really cool. So yeah, also, as I mentioned, Cameron Highlands, kind of close. It's not actually as close as it looks. It is still like a 2.5, 3 hour bus ride away, but it is definitely a place you can visit from Ipoh. It's good enough for a day trip for sure. And this is a unique place in Malaysia because it's just so high up. It's kind of chilly, cool there. So you might need a jacket. And, you know, especially if you're from Malaysia, you may not have experienced weather this cold if you haven't been outside of Malaysia. And this is your chance to experience that. Right. Then, of course, very important, we're going to have to look at hotels. And in Ipoh, they are pretty cheap. There are even hostels. There you go, a hostel for $6, so about 30 ringgit, something like that, maybe 35 ringgit. No, 25 rather. So 25 ringgit for a bed is nothing if you come with Western money. Of course, still in Malaysia, pretty cheap. There's a lot of different hotels, pretty good stuff. Some of them don't have windows, but that is what you have to expect when you book, you know, at the lower end. I have found a couple of really cool ones, like the Quinton Hotel right here. That's in a heritage building, and you know, doesn't that look lovely? Right in the city center for $48. So about, what's that, 250 ringgit more or less. And then the AC Hotel by Marriott. You can't go wrong with Marriott. Just look at this room. This is insane, isn't it? Beautiful, beautiful room. So yeah, there are many different options. Of course, if you want to stay in Tambun, there are also lots of options there. And then last but not least, there's also some amazing food in Ipoh. There you go. So there's some restaurants. A lot of it is derived from the Nyonya kitchen, I think it's called, which is a type of, you know, Malaysian / Chinese kind of Cantonese food that has been developed in Malaysia over the last centuries. And then one of the best restaurants for that, I believe, is Yuk Suhin, if that is how it's pronounced. But look at the food. I am getting hungry just looking at that. That is amazing. This could be duck, I think. It looks like duck a little bit. There's just a lot. And this seems to be the 6th highest rated restaurant in Ipoh. And from the ones that I just saw over here, I thought this is the best one. Because it just doesn't get better than that. But yeah, there are also a lot of cheaper options, of course, like this one, for instance. A lot of it is Chinese because Ipoh has a lot of a very high Chinese Malaysian population, still Malaysian people, but with Chinese heritage, which I think is fantastic. So yeah, that's Ipoh for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. There will be a lot more from other cities. So if you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe. Please like it because it will hit the algorithm better. And I'm going to see you all very, very soon in the next one. Bye for now.